a small coalition in the West Central Mountains of Idaho. And this is actually something that we decided to try for the first time. So it was a little surprising when we had started seeing where some of you are coming from. So thank you so much. And we're really glad you're here. I just want to let you know that this training is brought to you by Idaho West Central Mountains Youth Advocacy Coalition, although we like to call ourselves YAC, and also in partnership with Community Coalitions of Idaho, which Dave is our new director for that. And he can tell you a little more about that. And I'm gonna let Dave share his background with you and introduce himself. This was also funded by the Robert Wood Johnson Community Collaborative Funds that our coalition receives. So again, welcome. And we still have some more people, looks like, joining. So let's go ahead and get started, Dave. And again, thank you, everybody.
Sounds good. So I want to thank everybody for coming in today. Gotta love this new normal we live in now with all of this digital stuff. But what's kind of cool is those of us who are in this training, we wouldn't have been able to be all together today, be in this training, had it not been for the digital life we find ourselves in. So this is the social media for coalitions and nonprofits, tips and tricks to engage. And this is me. My name is David Phillips. Prior to COVID and prior to coming on with Community Coalitions of Idaho, I had been running a successful social media marketing business. So we worked all over the West Coast. We worked with major brands and small businesses, corporations, you name it. And we started out building ourselves as the small businesses answer to not having a corporate budget, but still wanting to have a corporate presence. So we had small businesses banding together with smaller budgets to make a bigger budget to be able to effectively get their message out. So I am a social media marketer. I am a writer. I've written and published poetry, and I also have worked for the last 5 or 6 years as a breaking news and general interest story writer for different blogs and for local publications in Southern California. I did have a story the end of 2016 about a little town in Southern California called Rialto, and it made national news. So that was kind of cool. It got all the way to Washington, D.C. So that was kind of neat. And I'm also a brand ambassador. So brands will ask me to post about, represent their brand. They'll send me stuff. I get solicitations all the time. So that's a fun way to try out new things and not have to pay for them. So that's kind of cool. So that has been pre-COVID. That was me. I also did a lot of work in prevention, but that's just because I don't know how to stop moving. This is me actually. The very first time that I got a chance to run a workshop was someone from Facebook was up talking about Instagram and Instagram stories, and she just talked about Instagram stories for a second. She just referenced them, and it sent the whole conference into a tizzy because a lot of people weren't familiar with stories at the time. And the lady here in the black on the right, she was in the back. This is the lady running this food blogger conference. And I said, I can run a breakout session later after this on stories so that we can get everyone back on track. And so she did that, and she mentioned that everybody was able to focus, get back on track. And this was my introduction to teaching people about social media, was looking for that opportunity and not being afraid to speak up. And it was kind of cool. We had a lot of people at our breakout session, and it was fun because I too was just learning about stories. So I was just sharing with people what I knew about it and giving them more knowledge than they had before. So these are some of the brands that I represent. This one here, the H&T, that's Hat Tack. It's just a creative way to hang up the hats, like you can see behind me, if my camera is working. Smooth is just a stabilizer. We have, for the last 5 or 6 years, we had been doing the social media content for NASCAR and in Southern California, and then Intuit, we are a brand ambassador for QuickBooks, TurboTax. We don't do anything with Mint, but QuickBooks and TurboTax. So I use both products. I use them for years, and people buy off my link, and I make a small income off of that. So my experience with nonprofits and coalitions, I was the adult chair, the founder, and of Rialto Community Coalition, the city that I grew up in and just recently, as of last year, moved away from. As you can see, I am here on the right-hand side. I am in a wheelchair because I am a cancer survivor. And just before this big conference that we put on at a local high school, I had a massive surgery that took my femur away from me. So it was quite an experience, but I was able to make it through, and I was able to, the event was still able to be a smashing success because of the team that we had built around us. Nothing that I've ever done in my life has ever been because I was just so amazing. It is because I am skilled at building teams, and I do have a lot of good ideas, and I'm not afraid to be the person to make the call. So that was a really fun experience. We did a lot of really good work there at the Rialto Community Coalition. I did serve 2 years as the executive director for Inland Valley Drug-Free Coalition, basically represented the 2 largest counties in Southern California, Riverside, San Bernardino counties, and basically acted as the support and liaison for all of the coalitions in those 2 counties, and that was a lot. 7 years as a founder of Inland Empire Job Seekers. When the housing market took a dump, we looked at how it was affecting our job force and how we were throwing people just into jobs, and we wanted to build opportunities for people and look for careers. So that was how that was founded. And I've literally, the precipice of my business was started by helping. I've always been working with nonprofits, working with fundraising, working on building membership bases. This nonprofits has kind of always been my thing, especially being a Christian. You know, a lot of times at church, you're always looking for ways to raise funds for youth programs and stuff. So that's kind of always been my bent. And I currently, here in the state of Idaho, I am the media sector rep for the Meridian Anti-Drug Coalition. Probably one of the, I've never seen a city, in my experience, and I haven't been all over the country, but I've never seen a city support a coalition the way that the city of Meridian supports their coalition. So I am really happy to not only live in the city, but to be a part of that coalition. And then, as Sylvia said, I am the current executive director for Community Coalitions of Idaho. And it was literally just coming back from NASCAR this year, and everything kind of falling apart, and looking at an opportunity that actually Kendall, from the executive director from Meridian Anti-Drug Coalition, she put in front of me weeks before, is I looked at it and applied for it, and here I am today. So what I want to do is I want to start with some social media facts, because this is always going to be something that's going to, we always think that, especially out here in Idaho, I have come to find that it's much different than California. So everybody in this room is from different parts of the country. So we all have ways that our communities engage with social media. So we want to remember that social media, just because social media may not be very big in our part of the country now, that it doesn't still offer us a tool we can use. And there's no saying that it's not going to change. It is changing here in Meridian, it's changing here in Idaho, because we are having so many people moving out from other states that are coming here. So they're bringing with them their social media habits. So it is creating a very quick change here in Idaho. We are nothing like it was in Southern California, but we are seeing a change. So, 3.5 billion social media users worldwide. Facebook is the most popular social media platform. And it is that because they own so many different things. They have break off apps like the Messenger app. They have Facebook Pages app for people who have pages. So there's a separate app you can download just to manage your pages. And then they also own Instagram, they own What's Up. So they're able to be the biggest player on the block because they own a lion's share of the popular apps that exist out there today. Users spend on average of 3 hours per day on social networks and messaging. I think I do way more than that. 54% of social browsers use social media to research products. I do a lot of that. And I don't just utilize Facebook for that. Google, I don't use Instagram, but I would say Facebook, Google are two places where I really try to, where I use a lot to research products. You got 71% of consumers who have had positive experience with a brand on social media are likely to recommend the brand to their friends and family. And then 91% of all social media users access channels via their mobile devices. So very few of us are accessing our social media on a regular basis via a laptop, or we want to even go even more old school, a desktop. We're using some mobile device, or what is really picked up with things like Apple TV and Fire Sticks and and with so many streaming platforms existing, we're doing a lot of social through our televisions too, which is kind of cool. Some more social media facts, and this is primarily to Idaho because YAC was sponsoring this training and we were helping them out. I have broken this down to Idaho, but just shy of 1 million people in Idaho have Facebook accounts. And I think, I didn't look up the stats, but I think we just have a little, like I think 1.2 million people in Idaho. So we're not too far away from everybody in Idaho having a Facebook account. 7,700 people have Facebook accounts in the McCall area. That is where YAC is. I think that's where they're headquartered. It's my favorite place to go and vacation now that I live in Idaho. Even when I didn't live in Idaho, we would vacation there. So that's a lot of people. So that tells you that there are a ton of people out there that are reachable via Facebook. And then many social media consumers rarely post content meant for public or will comment on a public post, especially today, in today's age, with so many polarizing topics like politics, like, you know, the current illness that we're affecting, or even what is going on socially in our country. There are tons of people who just consume, but they don't want to get involved in any back and forth when they comment, and they keep their social media accounts pretty private. My wife is a perfect example for this. Is if she has on her Instagram account, if she has someone who starts to follow her and they look weird, she blocks them. So just because people aren't commenting a lot on your stuff doesn't mean that it's still not being seen. It just means that the most vocal people aren't seeing it. But so don't be that bullet point is there to tell you, don't be disheartened if no one's commenting on your stuff, because it's still being seen by people. It's just not being seen by people who care to post a comment. So your existence on Facebook. So there are 3 major ways that you can exist in one form or another on Facebook. So you have your profile, which is people have to friend request you. You can get as private as you would like. Like I said, some people, they don't even have a header. They just have an icon with their name. Some people you can't even find, they're so private. Then you have your page, which is where your organization will live. And the page is really nice because I admin this page, but you really can't tell that I admin this page because it's Community Coalitions of Idaho. It is not David Phillips. It is not coalitions run by David, or this page is monitored by David. So if there are people who don't like me in the world, they wouldn't know that this is my page unless I told them, or they found out some way, like I made a public comment using my personal profile. So it's a really good way for you to have an existence for your organization or your nonprofit on social media without you having to be the face of it. And then you have groups, and groups are a way to come together under a general interest together. Like one of my favorite ones, because I do have backyard chickens, is I am part of 2 backyard chicken groups. They're based here locally in southern Idaho. So those are my groups. We also, for CCI, we have Idahoans for Prevention Facebook group, where all the prevention providers and come together and share stuff. And so groups are a way for you to share interests with other people. Like I said, this is breaking down your profile. So this is how you enter the world, the way people engage with you. They have to send you a friend request, and then yeah, this is your page. The way people engage with your page, and they like it right here. You notice here it's like. So they don't have to friend request you, you don't have to approve it. They can just like or follow your page, and then they can engage with you. And if you do have controls. If you don't like this person, you can block people unless you are a city entity or a government, because there's been a lot of issues with that lately, and a lot of cities and governments don't block people, so they have to deal with the comments to come, which is why your city might not post so much on their social media. And then groups, like I said, you can join any group you want. This is the Idahoans for Prevention Coalitions. This is the one that CCI, and I am interacting as myself, but people who come to the group, they can't see this. They can see who the admins are by clicking on it, but so groups are that funny gray area, because people can see who's an admin of it, but still it's a way for you to create an opportunity to come together with like-minded people, so common interests. So how can you trick out your page? Now, this is my influencer Facebook page from Southern California, and I want to show you one cool thing that I did with this recap video that I did from 2018, I think. That's how long it's been up there. People love it. You can put a video in your header instead of just a picture. So this is a video of places that we went to, things that we did in 2018. And so instead of putting just a picture up here, you can put a video. If you don't have any videos, if you don't think there's anything that you want to put on social media as your header, you can also put a picture, and you can change that picture every couple months. So that's another way to do something really creative. So instead of leaving things just the way they are, you can change things out. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you follow the requirements for Facebook, because they're very picky about what is allowed in here, especially when it comes to videos. It has to be a certain length. It can't be too long. And sometimes when videos are too long, you tend to end up cutting it in a weird way, so it doesn't look right. So those are some things you want to look at when you're posting a video. You want to make sure your icon tells people who you are. I cannot tell you how many times I've looked at someone's social media page because they've asked me, can you look at my page and tell me what I'm doing wrong, because nothing's working for me, I'm not getting traffic. And I look and I'm like, I don't even know who you are, because your picture is random. It doesn't jump out and say, really, you can't miss that. May be hard for you to tell what a coalition is, because I didn't even know what a coalition was until I started working with them. But if you look on our header, you look at the logo and you're like, Community Coalitions of Idaho. Okay, they do something in Idaho, they're for the community. And then if you look over to our header, it says partnering for a drug-free and healthy Idaho. Okay, that's what it is. So, but you want to make sure that your icon, your logo screams who you are. It tells people who you are, so there's no confusion. Tell your story. So part of your Facebook page is telling your story. And if you tell down here, this is from my company's Facebook page. I haven't done much with it because not really much to do lately. But kind of tells you we market and support many local businesses. So it kind of is a way to break it down in longer format if people are willing to read it all. If they go to your story, they're going to be more apt to reading. But this is just a way for it to give people a little bit more about who you are, who your organization is, why you exist, so that they can figure out how they fit into that. And then bring branding to your page. So one of the things that I really like about CCI is we have in-house content creation company that works for us, and we actually farm them out to our member coalitions. So Community Coalitions of Idaho is here to support all of the different drug and alcohol prevention coalitions in the state of Idaho. And one of the ways we do that is we offer this service to them at no charge. So they tell our contractor what they want, it gets produced and developed to them, and then that contractor sends me the invoice and we pay it. So we take the most difficult part of having branded content off the table and is figuring out how to pay for it. Now the other difficult part is how do we create it, but we're lucky to have good people that are smart. I can tell Eric, our contractor, kind of what I'm thinking about. And in the past 3 or 4 months that I've been here with CCI, he's hit a nail on the head every single time. So it's been very good working with Eric, and it doesn't make it to where I feel like I have to have it all figured out. I can just tell him my vision and he does it. So the same way, the reason why you want branding for your page is you want to create below. And the same way that we eat with our eyes, we also consume content with our eyes. So if something doesn't look appealing, we're going to be less likely to want to engage with it than if it is appealing. So how do you drive traffic to your Facebook page? How do people know where you live or how to reach you on the phone? You tell them, right? Well, it's the same way with your Facebook page. If you're not telling people that you exist out there, then how are they ever going to find you? So you always want to start with those people who support you the most, your family and friends, right? My mom is the most supportive person in my world. She is friends with people that I haven't talked to in years on Facebook because she's just so supportive and she starts all these conversations and she shares everything. She's amazing. So your friends and your family should be where you build your foundation of, these, because these are going to be the people that support you the most no matter what, right? You'll probably have like arguments with them outside of Facebook, like they have something to say to you, they'll say it outside of Facebook normally, but these are the people who are going to support you. And then you want to make sure that the people in your organization have liked your page. I can't count the times that I've done a workshop for a company and asked by a raise of hands how many people in this room have liked the company's Facebook page. And the best I've ever gotten is half. So if 50% of the people who work for you don't support you, that's a problem. So make sure that the people in your organization have liked your page, that they are vested in getting the message out of what you do, who you are, and why you exist. And then connect your page with other pages of people that you work with. For example, if you partner with other nonprofits, like if you're a food bank and you do a food pantry at a church, you should be connecting with that church. Or if you're a youth center that also works with a mental health facility or something, connect with each other, connect with other nonprofits, connect with other organizations that do what you do, like and follow each other. So if you were to post something from another partner onto your page, it will prompt you to like this page as your page. So when you see that, do it, because when you do that, it will prompt the other page to, this page follows you, would you like to follow them back? So it's a good way to start that reciprocal relationship of, I support you, you support me, building that foundation of supportive people to start driving traffic on your Facebook page. Make invitations more personal. This young lady right here on the right hand side of this picture is my youngest daughter, Sophia. And this young man on the left hand side, he is a local kid. He's actually a young entrepreneur down in Southern California. He lost his mom last year from a very quick and scary bout with cancer. But I looked for, like, I love when this is a local place called Punchbowl Social in Southern California, and that we were doing a whole thing about what they have to offer that's family friendly, because they were really good at selling their nightlife for adults, but during the day they had bowling, they had all these games, so there's things to do and they had all these specials for families, but they're having a really hard time getting it out there. So we came in and did a really big campaign and brought kids in and families, and we were taking all these pictures and videos. But people know my kids, people know this young man, so they're from the community. I didn't hire actors and actresses or models from outside of the area. I brought in people who were from the area so that people can attach to that. So make it feel genuine. Like, oh, I know Isaiah, or oh, look, that's David's daughter, Sophia. I know her. It makes it more personal. And so whenever you can, make your invitations, make your media more personal. Spend time looking at what your organization does and what people who falls into that category for you. Like if you're a youth-based organization, then should you really be targeting adults? And if you are targeting adults, you should be targeting adults who have teenage children, or maybe you're going to target adults with preteens, so that you can get those kids, those families, before the teenagers have already made up their minds that they don't like you. You know how easy it is to turn teenagers. Take a person to look at the person's profile before you send an invitation. We get we'll be very quick to just randomly just start clicking and sending out invitations all over the place. See who you're sending stuff to, because you don't want to come off as a spammer, because people will report that to Facebook, and then Facebook will they'll put you under a microscope that you do not want to be under if you're trying to grow your traffic. And then provide value up front before people engage with your page or group. So something I like to do is if I know someone is part of another organization, I'll go to that organization, I'll make sure I have liked it. I will go through their recent posts and see if there's anything interesting to me. I'll like stuff. I'll make a few meaningful comments. But I will actually go out of my way, because not only does that mean a lot to that person, but that person will tell other people about you, and then they'll tell other people what you did. So it just helps. I mean, that there's still word of mouth out there. It's just not the same as it used to be. It's digital word of mouth, not physical word of mouth so much. But that also depends on your community, because here in Idaho, there is still a lot of personal word of mouth versus digital, because I did find my exterminator by talking to my neighbor. I didn't have a digital conversation with her. I actually had a real conversation with her and asked her who she uses, and she gave me a great referral. So depending on your community, you might still have that honest word of mouth thing, or if you live somewhere like Southern California, or you guys in New York, I'm sure you do. You have very big digital footprint. Let your content speak. So this is a picture that I found of somebody. I think to be honest, I don't even know what part of Idaho this is, but it's beautiful. When you have amazing content, you will attract more people. We posted some stuff from Southern California about some like hidden little water oasis thing out in Palm Springs, and I think it reached like 6,500 people in a day, which was amazing for us because we didn't even have 10,000. Like we were still trying to get to our 10,000 mark following on Instagram. So when you have amazing content, it will attract more people. Great content leads people to tag other people. So I'll see this and I'll be like, my wife needs to see this because wherever this is, that's where I want to be fishing. And so I will tag at Amber Phillips and I will send it off to her. You guys, people will do the same thing. They'll tell their friends, their brothers, their sisters. They'll share it to their page. So when you have something that people really like that is really appealing, people will share it more. So great content leads to more engagement. And so now this leads us to, so you've got all that engagement, right? All these people are liking your stuff. You've got people coming in. Now, how do you double down on that? How do you build a better following out of the engagement? People are coming, but they haven't, you still want to push them more to like and follow. So this is how you do it. It's called the Facebook invite button. And if you look down here, the likes right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on that. And this will open up you can see the 7 different ways that people can like your post. They can do this little emoji face, the thumbs up, the crying, the hearts, all that stuff. And then you'll come up here and you will click on these little the little like things up here, the number 11. You'll click right up here. You'll touch that with your finger, click that with your cursor, whatever device you're using. And then if you see right here, there's people who liked this post, but they haven't liked the page yet. So they love the Holderness family's parody song about Zoom, but they haven't liked the page. So all you have to do is go in there and click those invites and they go away. Oops. They go away and they become invited. So you see how some people have been invited, they've liked, invited, liked. So this is a really good way when you figure out your content portion and you have people coming to your page to turn those people into people who've liked your page, liked or followed your page so that they can see more of your content so you can engage with them more. Okay, be consistent. So once you've made fans and followers of people, you need to feed them or you will lose them. I don't know why people do this because I'm not as big at doing this as other people, but I have seen this on clients' accounts before. People will go to all the trouble of unliking your page if they no longer feel like it has anything of value for them. You want to keep them informed of what's coming up for your organization. That's a really good way of feeding them, is letting them know what's coming up. Using the Facebook events is a really good way. Just general posts, tagging, sharing places where your events, like if you're partnering with someone else, sharing that they posted about it. And then all of the content does not have to come directly from you. Your consistency doesn't mean that I have to come up with, 7 posts and I have to have one for every day and it has to be me. You can go off of people who already follow you if they've posted something about you, if they have something cool they're doing, because remember, we're in our, we all should have similar interests. So if they've posted something about something that your organization does, you can share that. You can share news stories. It doesn't always have to come directly from you. You can augment your content with more opportunities to be consistent. Use templates to provide a polished look. So the template, and you'll see this at the end of the presentation, but this is the original. So down here, the picture on the bottom, is the original way that this picture looked. I use a website called Banner Snack, and what I do is I can go in there and I can click on all of these things, and I can change. So I can change the logo, as you see. I can also change what the text says. I can change the size of the text. I can remove things. So didn't have any need for this. I didn't have any need for that. I moved color bars down. So, and it didn't take very long. And actually Sylvia and I went back and forth with some of these images. So as she's telling me, I'm literally clicking on stuff, making changes. It's really easy. It's user friendly, and they come in and they provide you tons of templates, and you can make them whatever you want. So you see, this has nothing to do. These two things are nowhere near the same thing, but all I had to do was change the color a little bit, tweak this, tweak that, bam, I got a usable image. So it's a good way to create a ton of content and not have to worry about all of the little, like, how do they get that little design thing behind the lady? And I got to find someone to take a picture of that is on a laptop, and how do you make it black and white? You don't have to worry about that. It's done for you. And they have tons of clip art. There's just tons of opportunities to do things with this. So this is a great way to create content that looks professional but didn't take you a long time. And people will not know that you use Banner Snack unless they use it too. And then you'll just reinforce that you guys all have good ideas. You don't have the time? Then schedule it. Now, there are scheduling apps out there websites that will do this for you. I personally don't like them because they do sometimes hurt your reach with the algorithm. We'll talk about the algorithm in a little bit. But Facebook and Instagram, you can schedule posts. And I think you can do this with Twitter. I saw something. Don't do a whole lot of stuff that's relevant in Twitter. I do have a couple of accounts, personal accounts, and so I was looking at it the other day for something for HGTV. But on Facebook and Instagram, you can schedule posts through the Creator Studio. Meaning you can take a few hours. So if you had 2 hours in a day, you can schedule out. If you're good, once you get good with stuff like Banner Snack and stuff, you can get really good and you can pump out a month's worth of content in a couple hours, and then schedule everything, and you're done. You don't have to worry about it. But it still leaves time for being spontaneous. So like, say something happens in the world and you still want to share it, you can still share that. You just don't have to worry about missing out on the consistency and leaving your followers high and dry. So this is how to schedule a post. So what you want to do is you want to come up here and click on, so this is your Facebook page. Click on the Creator Studio, and then you want to come over here and click on create a post, and see how it has Facebook icon and it has Instagram icon here too. That is so you can toggle back and forth. We're going to talk about Instagram next week. But so you click create a post, and then it comes up with this create a post thing. You click that, and then it brings up where you can create the post. So you can add video, you can share a photo, you can create a poll, and this is where your poll option went. Some of you are like, where did my poll option go? Your poll option is now in the Creator Studio. It's not on your homepage anymore. You can do live video from here. I think you can do live video from both sides, but if you can't find it, there's live video here in the Creator Studio. So all kinds of different things. And so then you just create your content. So smoking leads to low birth weight. These are some of the new, I don't know if they're on yet, but the cigarettes are actually getting pictures and stuff of what cigarette smoking can do to you. So that's the new marketing campaign for the problems that come with smoking. So that picture, that text, and also you want to make sure that the most important text is in the first 3 lines. So 1, 2, 3, because after 3, it cuts it off and it goes dot, dot, dot. And then people have to click the dots to see the rest of the post. So you want to make sure that the most engaging part of your content is in the first section right here, so that you actually can get people to engage with the post rather than it looks boring. I'm just going to move on. And then you click I think this is out of order. You click down here, share now, and see how it is for now. You click schedule, and then you schedule a post. So you click the date you want, the time, so you can be very specific down to the minute. And then you are finished with that. You click schedule, and then all you have to do now is click schedule post, and your post is scheduled. So not difficult at all. And you can do that over and over and over again. There is no limit to how many times you can schedule posts for your Facebook page. Now the Facebook algorithm. Now this is, we say algorithm, sometimes you come up with this scenario right here, right? You know, like that impossible math problem that you see that you could have never solved. If some of you, if you can solve this, please put that in the chat, because that will help me with my homework. So if you haven't noticed, when you're searching for something on a website or you're on Amazon and you're looking at, well, so what was I looking at that cracked me up? I was looking at ways I could hang up my daughter's bikes in the garage on Amazon, and then when I got frustrated because I wasn't finding exactly what I was looking for, I went and opened my Facebook page just to look at nonsense, and all of a sudden I'm getting ads for ways to hang up bikes in the garage. So that is, in a nutshell, an algorithm. Facebook's algorithm takes what you have been engaging with digitally, and it uses that to build your interests. So what are you interested in, and who's buying ads that share those interests that we can put in front of you? So if your organization isn't running ads at all, you're missing out on one of the biggest parts of the whole digital landscape, is being a part of that. The lion's share of the algorithm. Don't let Mark Zuckerberg fool you. He wants to make money, and so you running ads is good for him. So what does the Facebook algorithm hate? And this is my biggest thing when it comes to working with like nonprofits, especially in the prevention field, is we are the king of using YouTube links, because there's so much good stuff on YouTube, and it is the easiest way to just house your videos and then share them out. You know, someone's like, hey, where's that video? Give them a YouTube link, they can go see it. Can we share that? Give them a YouTube link, they can share that on their Facebook page. The problem with that is about 4 years ago, Facebook decided they wanted to be the place you went for video content. And YouTube is the second largest platform with 2 billion users. Facebook, when it comes to the stat, they had the other stat had it with more. I think that was including Instagram and WhatsApp and their other apps, but just Facebook alone, they have 2.6 billion users. So it is the most popular social platform in the world, but why would they want to send you somewhere else? They want you right there where you are. So if you were to post the same video, upload it to your Facebook page versus taking that same video that's on YouTube and posting YouTube link, the algorithm looks at that and says, ooh, our video good, link bad. The video you upload is going to do better than a YouTube link. And even if you just post YouTube links, the algorithm is going to look at that and say, that's not here, that's sending someone outside of the Facebook world. I'm not going to push that out to new users. So you want to think about that is, take your YouTube content, because your YouTube content is amazing. There's billions of people that need to see that on YouTube, but there's also billions of people that should see that content, and it should be directly uploaded to your Facebook page for you to get the best bang for your buck and to reach the most people. So how did Facebook entice us to, how did it entice us to use Facebook over YouTube? Better reach. The algorithm was designed to suppress those videos, like I said, and they gave us great ad value. I remember when they first started doing this, me and my team, we latched onto it really quickly. We figured out we were getting Hugo prices for a Lamborghini reach. So I was paying pennies to reach tons of people. And I figured it, once I figured it out, all of my videos were just dumping onto Facebook, and we were running tons of ads. We were getting amazing results. Clients were loving it. It was just the best. And even with working in the prevention field, like with the Realty Community Coalition or Inland Valley Drug Free, was I was taking video content that we had and I was using that, running that as ad revenue and getting more followers, getting more attention to what we were doing because we were getting such great evaluation. Now that ad evaluation is gone. You can thank laundry list of factors, Mark Zuckerberg wanting everyone to believe that he cares more about people than money, and then also the 2016 presidential election where I forgot, it was Indicted or somebody was using bots to help people get elected. So Facebook flipped it, and now Mark Zuckerberg claims he wants people to have a more realistic and connect with people existence on Facebook. And I do connect with a lot of people on Facebook, but I tend to be turning away from having any real good conversations there because you never know who you're gonna run into. But say that is what he said now. So it has flipped a little bit. So he has suppressed a lot of the influencers and marketing and stuff, but there is still a place for you to play with getting investing in ads on Facebook to reach people. And we'll talk more about that next week, because that in itself is an entire conversation just on the different strategies that you can utilize to help you be better spenders when it comes to using ads. The way to beat the algorithm is to feed it. If you are constantly feeding the algorithm, if you're doing everything that you're supposed to, the algorithm will have no reason to fight you. So if you're not, there's nothing wrong with using some YouTube links, but if you're using less YouTube links and you're using live content and you're sharing to groups and you're engaging in groups, that's really going to help you beat the algorithm. Like, how do you get your kids or your dog to be quiet? My dog gets crazy when it's time to feed her. I'm in the garage putting food in her bowl. She's at the door freaking out. I put the bowl down, she's quiet because she's eating. I fed her. So that kind of thing. My kids too, when they're hungry, they start, I want a snack, I want this. They start telling me they're hungry. I gotta feed them. Once I feed them, they're happy and sometimes quiet. Use the tools that Facebook gives you. So if you have events, use the event scheduler on Facebook. It will help you. Live video, I know everyone's scared of live. I think we're going to talk about that here in a coming up slide. Post pictures, use the scheduler, go into the Creator Studio and look at the tools available for you. Create relevant content. I cannot stop stressing that enough, is you have to create relevant content. If your content is not relevant, you're not only going to lose your followers, but you're just going to give Facebook and the algorithm a reason to stifle you. Running ads. It's always good to run ads. And when people say run ads, I think, oh, I got to spend thousands of dollars. I think I was looking at my ad account the other day when I was updating this presentation, And I think that I have spent maybe $2,500 in that ballpark over the last 10 years. So you don't have to spend a ton of money to get good results from that, especially if you're in a smaller area. There's only a certain amount of people to reach anyway, so there isn't a reason to, like, one of my friends is existing through this COVID-19 situation by running every day he spends $2 on an ad for a different picture that talks about him being open. He's a general contractor in a flooring store in Southern California, and he spends like $2 or $3 a day. He doesn't do it every day, but when he does it, it's just $2 or $3, just enough to kind of like kickstart it, like what your coffee does for you in the morning, it does for me, is get you going, get you off the couch, get you into the other room or up the stairs so you can sit in front of the computer and get to work, because none of us go anywhere anymore. Share and engage in groups. So you can share your content, like you can just like machine gun your content in tons of groups. But if you're not going in and you're not engaging with that group, not only are you going to be seen as a spammer to the group, but you're going to be seen as a spammer to Facebook. But when you're out there engaging, commenting, looking for ways to be an active participant in the group culture, it'll pay better dividends for you. Become a member of the digital community. Just remember the way that we interact as people, like face to face. Like, I love the whole keyboard warrior term, because some people very like bold posting something, some comment, and then you see them in person and they're like so remember how we exist face to face and try to do that digitally. It will not only help you with your digital presentation, but it'll also help all of us out there maybe not hate having to go to Facebook so much. And Facebook controls the ordering and presentations of posts, so users see what's most relevant to them. Rather than publish content chronologically, posts and ads are presented based on what Facebook sees as relevant to you, the user. So remember that you want to make sure that if, like for me, my wife and I's newsfeed on Facebook is totally different. Mine's full of politics and all this stuff, and hers is full of like clothes and teaching and stuff. So what we engage with, and it's very hard to change your habits, but if you can change your habits and really focus on what you want to see, you'll help the algorithm teach you. And it works for you personally, also works for your business. Sometimes like one of the places that I see it a lot is your YouTube channel. When you're logged in as your business, you should have 2 YouTube accounts. One is for your organization, business, nonprofit, whatever. Another one is a personal one. The personal one is where you watch all your funny videos and listen to your music and watch your comedians. The other one should be just business. So you don't watch Gabriel Iglesias on it. You don't listen to whatever, you don't listen to watch your music videos there. Your kids don't watch their little toy videos on that side, because what a lot of people don't realize is, unless they've changed it, is every time you like a video, it goes to your home screen. So when people visit your YouTube account for your organization or business, they see what you've liked, and not everything that you like, they're going to like. And people can get upset very easily. So just a word of advice on how you can do something from a business account not knowing, and it could hurt you down the road. So what do people engage with the most? I love memes. They're my favorite. And there's one on the far right. In England, they drive on the left. Where I live, we drive on what's left. That speaks to California right there. But these other two, I'm a big Office fan. I love The Office. My mother-in-law asked my wife, does he just sit there and watch The Office all day? Kind of. This is for 2020. I can't keep doing this forever. It's only been 5 months, call it. done. So, but these are the most engaging thing right now on social media are memes, and this was the case before coronavirus COVID-19. So I think it's been this way for about a couple of years now. People love these things. They share them all the time. This is a great way to get people to like. So you can use that Facebook invite button. This is a great way to get people to comment, tag, share kind of thing, because everyone has something fun to say about them. And you can actually do these to show off your organization. So however, we did it with, so I did with a local celebrity down in Southern California. He had the mask or no mask thing. It says team mask or team no mask, but instead of putting a actual mask that would help you, we put the funny eyeglasses and the big nose, and that was the team mask. That thing blew up, and he was like, that was amazing. Yeah, so we do it for NASCAR all the time. We do tons of memes for NASCAR, like, are you team driver up front, or are you team driver in the pit? So, but you can use these for your organization, and you don't want this to be the bulk of your stuff, because then you'll just look like you're a meme producing organization. But these can be regularly added into your content stream to create some levity and also to show off your personality. So some more things that people engage with the most, and live content was the most engaging thing up until about a year and a half, 2 years ago. But live is still one of the top things that people engage with. We will always want to watch live stuff. Video, because nobody reads anymore. So you're more likely to get your message across if you have posted video versus typing out a big old long post that's like 7 paragraphs long. People are not going to read that. If you are doing images, high quality. So the best quality you can. Most cell phones have pretty awesome cameras on them, so there shouldn't be too many reasons why you can't post the best quality image possible. Brand stories, so both Facebook and Instagram, you can post a story. So you literally put up stuff and it's gone within 24 hours, but you can put up, this is what we're doing for this walkathon coming up, or we're having a prescription drug drop-off event. This is what's going to be there. This is how long we're. So the stories are places you can even take posts from Facebook and Instagram and share them to your stories, so people can engage with there. Because some people, like my wife, she shops with this one clothing company. Right off their stories, the lady will sit there and she'll put on all of the clothes that they have to offer, and like their storylines like this tiny, but she'll sit there and that's how she decompresses at night, and she'll just watch it. And she's bought many things off of just seeing them on the Instagram story. It wasn't on Amazon. It wasn't directed from the website. I think she goes to the website to make the purchase, but they utilize that story. So that the story portion is very strong, because that's where a lot of people are looking at content, because I've done it too. I've been sitting here working, answering emails, and I'll let the stories run. I'll be listening to stuff, and something catches my eye. I'll look over, and it keeps going. And there's ads in there. You can buy ads and stories. So follower content. Got to get look at what your followers are posting. Are they tagging you and stuff? Are they making content that's relevant to your organization? Use that, because just like you get more adults to a performance when you put their kids in it, the same thing, you get more people to follow you and getting excited about what you're doing when you are in turn excited about what they're doing. And then hashtags. This is more relevant to Instagram and Twitter, but the hashtags do have some purpose on Facebook. You should build a hashtag behind your organization. Something that my new program coordinator for CCI, she helped me come up with Idahoans for Prevention. That was really good. I have multiple hashtags. I have Mr. Inland Empire, I have Mr. Treasure Valley, Mr. NASCAR. I even made one for my wife, Mrs. Treasure Valley, Mrs. Inland Empire, I think. So hashtag is something where you can build, like, because people will follow hashtags on Instagram. They'll follow a hashtag. You know, I did it on Facebook too. I looked, and you can now follow. You can't follow, but you can click on or type in a hashtag, and it'll show you all the places that the hashtag was used. So you should have a hashtag connected to your organization, and make sure it's something that is relevant and easy to type. Because the funniest thing that I ever saw was we lived in Southern California, right next door to San Bernardino when they had the terrorist attack, and there was 2 different popular trending hashtags for San Bernardino Strong, because nobody could spell San Bernardino right. There was a ton of people that spelt it wrong, and then there was people who spelt it right. So you had 2 popular hashtags because for some reason San Bernardino is hard to spell. Don't be afraid of going live. Americans want to see what is going on, and if possible, live. This is why you will, if there's a major market that has full-time helicopters and their news agencies, this is why you'll always see police chases on the news. We love it. Well, we'll even watch the boring parts. This is the guy driving down the freeway for an hour and a half waiting. We know he's eventually going to make a dumb move. Probably the funniest one that I ever saw, it was scary and funny at the same time, was the lady who was driving, a lady or guy was driving an old RV that he had hit a pole and smashed and ripped the side of it. You actually could see in the front of the, like inside the front, and he had dogs jumping out. It was just like, there was not a dull moment to that police chase. I'm like, that's so hilarious. It was kind of scary, and it probably wouldn't have been fun to be in the situation, but just watching it transpire, we like watching things live. When you go live, if there's something that you can show people that they can't if they were to walk into your organization, they couldn't see, show them some behind the scenes stuff. And then too, it's always cool to do giveaways, to announce the winner live. People like that. So any opportunity to go live, even do Q&As and stuff. They got multiple clients to do Q&A Wednesdays. So they'll come on every Wednesday and they'll talk to the fans. The fans know it. They are consistent. They do it all the time. So the fans actually are looking forward to it. They plan to be on their page when it happens. They've made the notification necessary so they can know when they're going live, and they go to it. So that's another opportunity to reach people and get your message out. So the difference between someone who's just going to come check you out one or two times and then leave and never come back, versus the person that will be a lifetime supporter, is if you can attach a story to what you do. This is how you turn a casual follower into an active member of your organization, one of your cheerleaders. And for example, like I told you before, I dealt with cancer, and I always supported them, but I never really got heavily involved. I would donate every once in a while, but there was not really a cause that I really said that's my cause. And then cancer happened, and I lost my femur and I have a metal rod and partial hip replacement. I'm the largest reconstruction Kaiser Hospital has done on the West Coast, and the second largest reconstruction nationwide for Kaiser. So pretty big surgery. It wasn't until that I got involved with Relay for Life, because now it was real to me. It was not just something that happens to other people. It was something that I could attach something that happened in my life to what their cause was. So attach a story. One of the things that is always successful is when you can have people in your organization that have that they've dealt with it before, that they can share their story, and you can capture that. So anytime you can, any opportunity to capture content, you want to do that. don't get lazy. If you get lazy, followers will know it. If you get lost or lose focus, don't worry. You should always have a bouncing board. You should always have someone to go to if you're just like totally lost. And then what I love is there's other. It's not wrong to copy what other people are doing that are similar to you. So if there's other youth organizations that are doing something and it was really cool, there's no reason that you can't recreate that. I mean, a lot of what we learn is just something that we learned from somebody else, and now we're telling other people about it. We're continuing the flow of information down the highway. So don't get lost in focus. Look for opportunities to go look at what other people are doing. If you do get this, if you hit a wall, build a team if possible. I know some of us are lone wolfing it all the time, but build a team, build a team, build a team. When you build a team, you're less likely to lose focus, and you have people to hold you accountable so that you don't get lazy. And then remember to look to your followers. Look to your followers. They're going to provide those little nuggets when you do get bored, or when you lose focus, or you can't figure out what to do next. They're going to provide that little nugget that's going to get you through that time so that you can figure out what are we going to do next. And use popular days of the week, like Hump Day or Throwback Thursday. And also, you don't have to be a Mexican food restaurant to use Taco Tuesday. You could ask your followers, do they celebrate Taco Tuesday? You could partner up with a local restaurant that does sell tacos, and you could do some little cross promotion thing. We're gonna, meet us at Alberto's for Taco Tuesday. We're gonna be there from 2 to 4, and maybe Alberto's can give a portion of the proceeds to your organization, so you can do a little fundraiser. But you just posted, and if you were to do that, you could probably get 3 or 4 posts out of that one day of opportunity. So just because you may not sell food, or you may not make tacos, you can still celebrate and use Taco Tuesday. Partnerships work, and they can pay dividends. Look for strategic partnerships. So make sure that you are not the only one providing make sure you're not the only one providing the benefits for the other person, that there's reciprocal benefits. They go both ways. Work with nonprofits in your area. Team up. Especially as people's pocketbooks get tight, and people are out of work, or people aren't working as much, businesses aren't making as much money, so they're less likely to donate. Want to make sure that you're teaming up together. Look for ways to still get involved with your business sector, and go to those businesses that have been labeled essential, or that have been thriving through this current time, because those are the ones that actually are looking for opportunities to do something else. And then tag people using, so you want to put apps, and then start typing their name or typing their organization, and then it's going to come up with a list of possibilities that might be. Click on it, because when someone can click on the thing and go directly to them, versus having to remember what it is and type it in the search bar and find it, you're just gonna have better luck at paying those partnerships forward. And then link up with your school, city, county. Right now, there's a lot of opportunities in that area, because everything has been shut down for so long. And then two, this is a good way for you to share stuff and to partner up with your governmental agencies, but they don't actually have to post it themselves. So they don't have to run into that whole thing of, we're a government agency, we may be under the belief that we can't delete or block people. So it's another good way to overcome a hurdle and to build a partnership at the same time. So get to the end. So apps and websites I use a lot. So here, these are the apps. So we have This one on the far right is the screen recording for mobile phones. So it's a free app that I use that I can, if I wanted to do a quick tutorial and I didn't want to come to my computer and open up websites and do all the editing, I can just literally screen record real quick, bam, be done, and share it. In the middle, this is called Unfold. And there's a free version. I played for the influencer one or whatever they call it. It's 19 bucks a year. It's well worth it. I've created some beautiful posts off of this using this app. And then on the far left is Regram. That is the app that I use to share Instagram stories. So if this is talking about what fans or partners might be talking about that are relevant to you, is you can go to their site, take their post, and you can share it to your social media page as well, and just make sure that you give them credit so that you don't get accused of stealing stuff. But if their stuff's not private, then you can share it. And then websites. So on the far left is Camtasia by TechSmith. That is what I use for all my video editing that I do. And then that is also a very good screen recorder. So if you wanted to record something on your screen, that is $249 for a 2-device license. But that's one time. Like, you don't ever have to pay for that again. I think right now they're giving you the upgrade, like the 2021 version, because you do have to pay for the next versions if you want to upgrade. I haven't seen a whole bunch of changes, so I haven't done it in a while, but they're giving you the next year with it, like for free with it, kind of thing. That's what I saw today when I was looking. Banner Snack in the middle is that website that I use to create those quick posts, and you can also create website banners and stuff, and you can make them clickable. There's all kinds of things in there that I don't even really use that can do, and that's 84 bucks a year. That's the mid-level. I think they have one other that's like higher, but it like gives you like tons of people can log into the account. I don't have a need for that. And then all of the stuff that we do for websites that I have control over, we do through WordPress. So if you're trying to figure out anything for websites and you're not a very website knowledgeable person, I would go look at some of the templates and stuff that you can do through WordPress. And they do have really good prices for buying domain names, and they have really good widgets where you can embed video and stuff. So it's a really great user-friendly platform for people who aren't web designers. So that's the end. We will have another workshop July 16th. Same time. If you go to the Facebook page, go to the event, if you go to the discussion, the Zoom link is in there. That one will be focusing on Instagram and running social media ads, because that ads part is a really big beast. And then there is my email for anyone who has need for my email. So what I'm going to do, let's see who's left, is I'm going to stop the share so that I can look at, I haven't been able to see the chat. I've just been seeing tons of stuff been going up. So let's see. So I'm looking at questions now. So you guys have questions, keep typing them in. Okay, so Melissa Hamilton, she said her experience is that she can't share as her page into a group. So let me show you. I'm going to share my screen again. Let me find my Facebook page. Where is it? Hold on. Let's move this. Come on, get out of my way. there we go. It's my page. So let's go to a group. So let's go to the Idaho Prevention Coalitions. So yes, it can lead you to post as yourself, but there is an option. If you click here, it says interacting as yourself. You can change that. So I can see now it has the option where I can post as Community Coalitions of Idaho now as our page, and as my slow internet finally, I think been burning my internet hard this week. Now I can post as CCI. So now I'm posting as Community Coalitions of Idaho, and you'll see that as soon as my slow internet. See, bam. Now I'm posting as CCI, not as David Phillips. So that is how you can do that. Oh, I lost my comments. Can we get Eric's contact information? If you email me, I can get you Eric's contact information. If you guys have any questions about contact information for anyone that we use, feel free to email me, davidccied@gmail.com. I will be posting we will be posting a recording of the workshop, and if you want the PowerPoint slides, you can email me and I will send you the PowerPoint. That's not a problem. I'm one of those people, and I didn't say this in the beginning, but I don't care if you guys take pictures, screenshots, or whatever, because nothing that I know here is super secret. It's just stuff that I've learned over the years, and I'm passing that knowledge on down the road. So of course you can get the PowerPoint slides. And you can change who you're posting as, whether it's on desktop or on mobile. The option is available to you both ways. Saw someone say that they thought it was only for desktop. I think I'm able to do that on Facebook and choose the posting setting. Yeah, if you're rarely on Facebook, a lot of this stuff will look weird to you. Hootsuite does allow you to post to schedule to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They do, but when it comes to the algorithm prefers. So, like if I'm a parent and I say you can have my dinner that I provided work so hard for you, or you can eat fast food. Am I going to get mad if my kids say no? I don't want to eat your food, Dad. I still want to go to Chick-fil-A. You're like, really? Put all that work into it? So same thing with Facebook. If you're using an outside posting or hosting website, you're going to pay a little bit on the reach side of things. So just keep that in mind. I think Hootsuite does have a free option, but remember, these free options are really heavy with ads, and these companies don't make money because everybody uses the free site. So they are going to eventually push you to some paid option. And let me see. Does anybody have a question that I'm not seeing? They want to turn off their mic and ask a question? Yes, you can get a list of the apps, the sites and apps. That's not a problem. WordPress is amazing for blogs, yes. Is there any way to track the number of posts during a given period? I believe they would require for DFC reporting. Yes, there is. I can share my screen one more time and show you where you will find that information. So when you, let's go to, so you go to your page. Sorry, my internet's being slow. I think it's because I'm zooming and interneting at the same time. Let's see if I can move this down. Okay. So if you don't see insights up here, you want to click more and bring up your insights. And this will show you all the actions on your page, the views, and you can even do it so per post. You can see how each post did in relation to other posts. So, sorry, it's just taking forever. So you can see your traffic, like when your traffic's the heaviest, when it's the lightest, what days different, and then you can actually see each and every single post, and you can see the reach, how the engagement was, whether it was boostable. So, I mean, I have ones that did, reach over 2,000 people and some that haven't reached very many at all. So, but yeah, so and this is the easiest place to find all that information so you can build out your reporting structure, and you can literally like get on here and you can see more. You can see months if you have time to give through it. I'm already into middle of, almost the middle of May. So it's depends on how much you post and how long it will take you to get down this low, but there are, that is available to you. So yeah, a couple more questions come in. Thank you so much for this information and your work for your community. Oh, thank you, Margaret. Share your email in the chat. Yes, I will share my email in the chat. David at Gmail. There you go. So tagging, the way that let me do it on the actual. So tagging, because society has gotten so lazy, and because there's so much out there, so many different organizations that have similar names and stuff, that tagging is a great way to, like, Kindle might still be in this, but I'm gonna tag MADC. So you just put the @ sign and then Meridian. And see all the stuff that comes up. I just put Meridian, so then I gotta put there it goes, Meridian Anti-Drug Coalition. So what I do is I just click that. Now I'll post this, I'll delete it in a second, but now when that finished posting, instead of just seeing Meridian Anti-Drug Coalition name there, you actually can click and touch it to go to the actual. It didn't work there. That's not working. So maybe it's the way I did it. But the idea is now you can actually engage with this organization by clicking on it and going to their going to them. So it's an easier way to get people, and then too, people will like tag, like the tagging is vital in your comments too, because you can, like, if I want my wife or my uncle or my friend to see this stuff, I can tag him in it, and when I tag him in it, he'll be notified up here in his notifications that that he was tagged. So like Debbie Dawkins, who's in this training, she likes something, so it'll come up here and it'll be in my notifications. So when you click on your notifications, say, oh, someone told me that I should like this or I should engage with this. So that's what the whole that's a little bit more on the tagging feature, but that's what the tagging is for. No, you can tag. I tag my own organization all the time. That is not seen as spam. That's actually in the world of Facebook, that's seen as using the tools. So they actually like that. But the only time that is seen as spam is when you are just
doing every single post over and over again, and you're not changing anything, if you're just copying and pasting the same message over and over again and tagging, that's when you'll get a message from Facebook first to say, you might be overusing this feature. To keep from this feature being suspended from you, please slow down. Like I'll do that sometimes with the invite button. I'll just start along a page, I'll just start inviting people, and Facebook will be like, you need to slow down. So it's almost like, bad David. So yeah, so they'll let you know when they have an issue with something you're doing. So yeah, that's how you know. But no, if you're just tagging yourself because you want people to know where to go to get more information, you won't be in trouble. So if nobody else has any questions, I think I will pass this back to Sylvia.
All right, thank you, Dave. This has been great. If you guys came in late and you haven't put in your name, where you're from, and your email, that would be great. That'll give Dave and I points of contact with you, and we'll get a little survey out to you in the next day or so. And just want to thank everybody for joining us, and hope you can make it back next week when we do this again. So Dave, you want to add anything, or are we good?
We're good. I just would like to thank everybody. I mean, this is amazing. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, and thank you for bearing with me. And it'll be fun next week. And I'm hoping to have some of these subscriptions that I use. I'm hoping to have some of these to give away next week. So that's a little hook for you to come to the next training. Is I might have a few subscriptions in my possession to give away, and we'll have some fun ways that you guys can show me your knowledge of social media so that we can all learn together and get some free stuff at the same time. So, and I do plan on coming back with some discount codes and stuff for if you guys are interested in using some of the things that I use to do the social media stuff that I do, that you'll be able to do that at a reduced price. So.
All right, sounds great. Well, thank you, everybody. And you guys have a great day, the rest of your day. And we'll see you next week. All right. Did anybody else have questions, or? I'm going to go ahead and log out, and I'll call you.
Okay.
All right.